The second speaker will be Esha, Rifat Islam Esha. Esha currently works with the Dhaka Tribune, one of Bangladesh's leading English newspapers, as a sub-editor in the newsroom. She previously worked as assistant editor as a magazine, and she's also a poet and is currently working on a book manuscript. Her key interest areas are art and culture, climate migration, urbanization, women's rights, minority rights, human rights, and national security.
Hello, I'm Rifat Islam Esha. I come from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I work for Dhaka Tribune as the sub-editor in the newsroom. So first of all, I'm a journalist. I'm not an expert, so this won't be a detailed study or it won't have that many statistics. I'm going to just briefly give you an idea of how rain is or how monsoon is in Dhaka, the place where I come from, the place where I lived most of my life. First of all, I'd like to ask how many of you know how Dhaka is or have an idea of the place? I just want a head count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Okay. So I'll just give you an idea of the place where I come from. It's a place that you may not have been to. A place so that an idea so that you can imagine a place from like what I have experienced in my life. So when does it rain in Dhaka? So there are 2 seasons. I come from a country where there are 6 seasons. We have a separate season for rain. So it rains in summer and monsoon. It starts raining from summer. We get like a little bit of rain, and we have Kalboishaki storms, which are seasonal storms. This is very, I don't know, it's cultural. Boishak is the month, it's the month of summer. It's the Pohela Boishak marks the first day of summer, so it was on April 14th. So we had summer from April 14th. So, and it was the beginning of the year too. So it's the Bengali year starts with Pohela Boishak, and we have a thing that from the onset of Boishak, we'll have like Kal Boishak, like within a few days, or there's a myth that it always storms during Pohela Boishak. So I don't know about that, like I haven't faced that, but it did rain on the 14th or the first of Pohela Boishak a lot in my lifetime. So I don't know, like I have a Bangladeshi in the audience. He can verify whether I'm wrong or right. So monsoon basically starts like, or the rainy season, what we used to call when we were kids, it starts from May onwards. So we get like heavy rains from May onward till we have it till September, sometimes even later. So a little idea of Kal Boishak, it can be very aggressive. It's a very aggressive kind of storm. It happens in the afternoon, and it starts with like strong gusts from northwestern direction. And then it builds up, and it's very strong, and it has a detrimental effect sometimes. So is it really bad all the time? It's not. A lot of like it's when it's summer in Dhaka or when it's monsoon, it's a lot. It's hot. It's very hot, and the heat kind of builds up, and people actually pray for rain, and. So it's not, and as you can see, like the girls, they're school girls, they're getting drenched in the rain because everyone wants rain and everyone wants the feeling of rain after a hot day. Then you have this, as Anusha, the first presenter, showed a few visuals from her city. It's quite the same in my city as well. Like the drain kind of floods the entire city, and it's very difficult to move. And with that, we kind of have a lot of traffic congestion. Dhaka is the first problem of Dhaka, if you would ask me, it would be traffic. And it builds up so much that it becomes very difficult. So when we have heavy traffic, we spend more, around 2 to 4 hours more than what you would expect. But when it rains, it gets worse. So rain makes the headlines. Like we have rain woes, then we have waterlogging woes, the sad situation of the city during rains. Headlines like that. It causes a lot of traffic congestion, as I said, a lot of disruption in people's schedules. So there was a study done 2 years ago, I'm not quite sure, 2015 or 2016, to find out how much time we spent in traffic jams. So there were like billions of taka that we lose while we are in traffic jam because we can't go to work. So you have certain idea. Like I'm giving you a brief, like a glimpse of what Dhaka is. And the waterlogging is it becomes a living nightmare because when it rains incessantly, like nonstop for 2 days, you have flood and it's very difficult to move. And Dhaka is very urbanized and we have infrastructure that are very diverse and they're put together and meshed together and there are like little alleys and you have like very narrow passage to move. So they completely become flooded and it's very difficult to move. So, what's good about rain? It clears the air. There was a recent study. This study came out at the beginning of this year, in February. So it kind of created a confusion in media. So apparently a lot of media outlets thought that Dhaka was the second worst polluted city in the world. Then we did a response report on Dhaka, and it wasn't actually the second most polluted city in the world, it was the 44th. So what happened was this confusion started when the Guardian published a report and where they used a visual, a graph of cities from Asia. So they were actually talking about cities from Asia. So Dhaka was enlisted as the second city. So that confused a lot of news outlets. And they sort of thought that the State Global Air Report 2017 reported that Dhaka was the second most polluted city in the world, which wasn't the truth. According to World Health Organization, Dhaka is the 44th most polluted city in the world, which is not a good news for us because although it is the 44th most polluted city in the world, we have a lot of toxic particles in the air, as the first presenter talked about. The PM 2.5 is very high, and the coarse dust pollution, which is PM 10. That's very high as well, and it gets higher during the peak season, which is summer and winter, like peak time in February, and in dry seasons, which are summer and winter. So why is rain good in summer? It clears the air. So what else? Water lack is met during rainy seasons, slums and in remote areas where they only have saline water. So in slums, they do not get, because as slums in the city are regarded as illegal settlements, they do not get water supply from WASA, which is responsible for providing water to them. So they, at the end, they end up relying on NGOs, local NGOs, or to the black market. And even from there, they end up getting water for maybe 10 minutes or 30 minutes. So that is not enough water, and that's by the end of the day, they end up paying double the money that we pay. So these are the people with low income, they end up paying double the money that we pay for water. So water is not free for everyone. Even though it's not free at all for everyone in Dhaka, we have to pay a little fee, but even then, the poorest of the poor end up paying double the money. So in that situation, it's very good because when it rains, they rely on rainwater for drinking. And in remote areas like Khulna, where they have saline water, and there are a lot of health issues that come with saline water, like women get miscarriages, and people get rashes, and some people die because of intaking saline water so much. They die early, not die as in like it's not poison, but it's poisons essentially. So it gives the city a wash. The rain kind of washes the city and cleans it up. Cultural relevance. So in Iceland, because I'm a linguistic student, I know this. In Iceland, there are many words for snow. So they have crunchy snow, they have soft snow, and there are many words for snow. So because we have a season that kind of gives like a name for a season that gives you an idea of rain. So we have a lot of words like brishti, jhor, then a lot of sounds, like sound words. Then we have songs, music, nursery rhymes, nursery songs dedicated to this season. So it kind of goes back to how maybe I'll give you a parallelism between Wordsworth and poets in our country who kind of get inspiration from the rain and write about rain and write songs about rain. Then there are like, we have specific craving during rain. So there is this thing like, it happens all over Bangladesh. So when it rains, everyone likes to have khichdi. So rain is a good time for khichdi. So there are other dishes like that. And then during the rainy season and during what you may call it, summer, during when we have kalboishaki, we have fruits like mangoes, jackfruits, and watermelons, which are quite refreshing. And there are songs regarding these fruits as well. So yeah, that's basically is my presentation. Thank you.